Phillip says Tracey is a lot of work.
Tracey is so high maintenance.
He also says she's a piece of work.
When we go out, she is so scantily clad. She's semi-nude.
But her blind date
She's my angel.
thinks she's worth the effort.
A man who complains about the way a woman dresses insecure by himself.
After his blind date offers her own theory,
She's insecure with her own intelligence.
will they strain to maintain
She's semi-nude.
or have a change of heart?
Welcome to Change of Heart. Let's meet our couple. Now, get this story. They dated 13 years ago for one really hot and heavy month. Then she went back to her ex and they lost touch. But he never really forgot about her, and he spent the past 10 years looking for the one that got away. However, 8 months ago, a chance meeting reunited them, and they're here now to see if the next 13 years has them in the same bed or just sleeping solo. So please welcome to Change of Heart, Tracey Garrison and Phillip Stevens. So, Phillip, let me start with you. Tell us about your first date the second time around.
Well, our first date the second time around, we decided to have lunch. We met at a restaurant at 11 a.m. The conversation was so intense. The next thing I knew, the waiter was bringing us our dinner menus at 6, and I got a kiss for dessert.
That's some intense conversation going on there.
Yeah.
Now, Tracey, it sounds like things were pretty intense. I mean, does he make you a priority in the relationship all the time?
Well, actually, no. He would rather leave the bed than warm it with me. He's for work, you guys.
Yeah.
He is attached to his computer. The cell phone goes wherever we go. I'm definitely not. Work comes before me. And if this continues, then I'm out of here.
Tracy,
See, you're giving notice. He's giving notice, Phillip.
Tracy is so high maintenance. One of us has to work. One of us has to make the money. She loves $100 meals, and she likes to shop, and she likes to buy
going
things.
into the relationship that I'm
Now, but
working.
here's my question, though, Tracey. Once you got him in the bed, why is it that you can't entice him to stay there?
Well, he's a little flabby around the midsection. I like a guy who works out at the gym, who goes to the gym, maintains himself a little
We
bit
work
more.
out separately.
If he was in a little better shape, then I would chase him around the bed. He has
She
great
doesn't let me work
potential.
out with her. She's so vain.
But he doesn't have to work
She
out
doesn't
with
want
me.
to sweat around me.
It's not being vain. It's just the fact that I don't like to be interrupted when I work out. It's a concentrated type of thing. It's
I
something
work
I like
out.
to do
I
alone.
run.
All right, Phillip, let me give you a
He
chance to
runs once
respond
a
here.
month.
Phillip, she'd rather you work less and work out more. Anything about her you'd like to change?
Chris, when we go out, she is so scantily clad. I mean, she's semi-nude. Every time we go out, guys are gawking at her and everything, and it kind of
something wrong
interrupts
with
the
that?
attention that I want with her.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like,
Look at what she's wearing now.
Can you stand up for just a second? Because I'm not sure they really got a good look at that.
I work out. So, if I work out.
So,
and
Phillip,
dress
I
like
can
this,
see
then
how
I
they'd be
should.
totally distracted.
Nipple coverage is all you see. That's it.
All right, Phillip, what about when she's at home? What are her habits like at home?
She is the human tornado. I go into her place, there's hair all over the place, makeup on the counter, crumbs on the bed. I clean up behind her all the time.
There are no
It's like she
crumbs in the
sheds
bed.
like
There
a
are no
German
crumbs in
shepherd,
the
you
bed.
know?
If I were like him, he is so anal.
Oh, he is?
Anal. One of his friends even told me that they have caught him cleaning up the floor with a toothbrush. Don't
All right,
make it
Tracey,
sound-
let's talk about when the two of you actually do get along. And can you talk to Phillip?
I can, but he doesn't listen. Everything is about, he used to, study psychology and everything, so he already knows what I'm thinking. He already knows what I should do.
You got the psych profile.
Most women would like a man that's sensitive, that cares about them. They would use the skills that they learn to help the relationship out, like talking things through.
Okay. All right, Phillip, if a genie could grant you one wish, is there one person you'd like her to be less friendly with?
Chris, there is a line that you have to draw at some point. She is buddies with my ex-wife. And they have planned lunch. She sends her
It's not like we
perfume
planned it.
and everything. It's just
It's not
a
like
line
we
you don't
planned it.
cross.
We
I
met out by accident one night.
And you
he
became
has
best of friends.
No, we're not best of friends, but he has a 14-year-old daughter. And as parents, you need to get along with the other parent. He
I
needs
know,
to-
Phillip,
he
that
needs to
sounds
grow up
innocent.
as far as
What are you worried about?
Yeah.
That sounds innocent enough.
That's right.
Tracy, what worries you the most about coming here and doing the show?
The fact that we might enjoy our dates a little bit too much. The reason why we're here is because we want to take our relationship to another level. and she might be the one, you know? So I think that if he had too good of a time on his date, or if I had too good of a time on my date, then it would be time to reevaluate the relationship.
Absolutely.
And go on from there.
Well, we'll see how good of a time each of you had on your dates. Now, what did Tracey's date do for her that Phillip has not done in 13 years? We're going to find out next, so stay tuned. Tracey and Phillip. Now, here's what Tracey told us. She said that she was really looking forward to her date and that while she was out, she did not think about Phillip even once. So let's meet this really captivating guy. Please welcome Ron Kelton.
Hey, how you doing?
You know Tracey?
Hey,
Have a seat. And I got to ask you, what is that, Ron, you're carrying there? It looks like a big butterfly wing or something.
What it is, I went to this book signing, and it's about angels.
Oh.
And they say, do you believe in angels? And so she is my angel. So here's
So you brought her wings. Phillip's eyes
You
were
wish she
rolling.
was your angel.
she was my angel.
Tracey, were wings the only thing that Ron gave you on your date?
No, Ron gave me the most beautiful rose that I've ever seen.
How many roses?
And the reason why, it was one rose, but it was a steroid rose. I've never seen a rose like it was about this tall. It was about this tall, and the bud on it was about that big. And in fact, it's still beautiful today. But what makes it so special is the fact that Phillip would never, ever give me flowers.
That is so untrue.
Now, Phillip's denying it. Have you brought her flowers? in the
Yes,
past?
like our second date, I got her a dozen of
14
roses.
years ago.
And you know what she did?
14 years ago.
You know what she did? She was like, "Oh, he's too nice. Oh, he's just all this," and it was a negative response.
This
like,
was 14 years ago.
All right, Ron, let's go back to the book signing when you guys were out. How would you describe her, the way she dressed? Trashy or not?
Oh, man. Now let me tell you about it. She had on these black leather pants. I mean, this blue halter top. I mean, she had it going on. Woo! I mean, she was looking real good. She had no eye.
Now, why would you say that a guy like Phillip would actually complain about something like that, Ron?
Well, like take myself, to me, a man who complains about the way a woman dresses is insecure by himself.
So in other words, you like a woman that's like reveals herself to other men.
Because I know she's gonna come home with me.
Amen.
See, he's confident that way. Now, Tracey, were the angel stories the only ones you heard that night?
Oh, no. Ron and I talked about everything from his own business. He's an inventor and all that type of thing, and where he grew up in New Mexico, which was very exciting. And he listened. He listened to things I had to say and thought that I had good things to say. So which is something that Phillip doesn't do. He knows everything.
I listen to you all the time. I'm very sensitive to your needs.
Now, Tracey, you say Ron owns his own business. They can be pretty busy. Do you think he's a workaholic like Phillip?
No, we talked about this because that's a point in our relationship. We talked about if he takes the time for his woman, blah, blah, blah. And he let me know that definitely the woman is number one. He likes to shower with attention. Work comes second. Woman comes first.
A little difference in priorities there. And Phillip, I'm
Right.
sure you're making a couple of notes as we go.
I'm not worried about it. She's very well taken care of. This is a temporary thing.
Now, Tracey, would you give him an A as far as showering you with attention and doing all the right things?
I would give him an A+. I didn't have to do anything. He let me know that whatever it was that I wanted, just relax, and he would take care of me. And he was absolutely wonderful on the date.
What about when Ron was talking to you, when he was speaking? Anything that you
There
noticed?
was no cell phone. There was no work.
No interruptions?
No, he was definitely into me. He was definitely.
Okay, that's all good. What about physically? What about the physical part?
Physically, my ideal guy is a guy like myself who works out and takes care of blah blah. He has a nice body, but it's not the buff. He's not real big and that type of thing. So that was the negative.
So you thought that was good?
But he still is a sharp guy.
Now, Ron, while you guys are hanging out, any special moments that brought big smiles to your face?
Yeah, let me tell you what happened. Basically, word got out that we was coming to change of heart. And so everybody kept getting around us and, and they kept complimenting her, how pretty she was, and telling me, you guys make a good couple. And I agree. And they said maybe she should have a change of heart.
Yeah.
Oh, they're rooting for it already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were.
They were.
They were.
They were like, oh, you guys should be together. You know, you look so nice together. He's so nice, and he is. He's a sweetie. Yeah.
Now, Tracey, talk about the date. Like after the book signing, did the date have a tendency to grow some wings then?
Yeah, we walked through downtown Pasadena, which is where he's from, so it was cool because I'm not from here, and he took me to the Rose Bowl and showed me around. And while we were downtown, he asked if he could hold my hand, which was very nice that he asked to do that, and I told him yes. And at one point, I got kind of chilly, you know, in the evening in California, and he let me wear his jacket, which was very gentlemanly. So it was a good day.
He's doing all the right things, it sounds like.
He took care of me.
And Phillip, would you not do the same thing? You're not a gentleman?
When it is raining outside and we go out, I carry her across the street so she doesn't get her shoes wet. I carry her to the car when her feet get tired when we're out walking a lot.
All right, well, then
so
you do the right
I shower
thing,
her
too.
with gifts.
All right, Ron, you brought her
very
those
well.
wings. Did she get you anything for the date?
She really surprised me. What happened, she said, can you take me to the store? So, but she was very persistent that I stay in the car. So I was thinking that maybe she's going to get some personal hygiene stuff. So, so I said, no problem. And so what happened, when she came out with a card and a balloon, and she said, happy birthday.
Yeah,
And she remembered.
Oh, it was your birthday.
Yeah.
The next day was his birthday.
Uh-huh.
And he had been so sweet to me. I wanted to do something very nice for him, for being so nice and attentive.
Well, that
to
was
me.
very nice. And Ron, what did you do to sort of reciprocate?
I gave her a hug and a kiss.
A kiss.
And Tracey, can I ask, was it just one hug and one kiss?
Well, when we got back to the house, he walked me to the door, and you know, we gave each other a big hug, and we told each other how much we enjoyed the date, enjoyed each other, gave you a little peck on the cheek, everything very respectful, very gentlemanly, and then he was gone.
And Phillip, you okay with all that?
No.
All right, hang on. How does Phillip know that his date doesn't leave crumbs in her bed? We're going to find out when we return, so stay here. Tracey's date with Ron, and now we're going to meet the woman that Phillip went out with. Now, Phillip, you've complained that Tracey's terminally messy and rather embarrassingly underdressed. Tell us what kind of woman would be your dream date.
Well, my dream date would be a woman who is clean, conservative, and most importantly, on time.
All right, well, let's see how he did here. If his date lived up to his fantasies, please say hello to Leigh Sherman. Hi, Leigh. Good to see you. Very good. Tracey, before we actually get to their date, did you have any words of advice to Phillip before he went out?
Well, you know, I told him to go out and have a really good time and enjoy himself because she could possibly be the one. I mean, that's why we're doing this. So.
Now, Phillip, Tracey told you to go out and have a really good time. Did that actually help you when you were preparing for your date?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
I was so nervous and guilty about this thing. I was praying that she wouldn't be as hot as she was.
I'm sorry we didn't accommodate you there. So your prayers obviously weren't answered.
No, my prayers weren't answered. When I called her and told her that I was a couple minutes away, she asked if she wanted me to meet her downstairs, which would have never happened with Tracey because I would have been waiting for an hour for her to get ready, at least. Or if she wanted me to come up. Of course, I had to come up to check her place out to see if
to check it out.
To see if it was Tracey-esque.
Check it out. See if there's hair. See if there's hair everywhere.
Wait, hold on. But before we actually get up to the apartment, what about when you first saw her physically, when you first laid eyes on her?
Wow. When I first saw her, all I saw were these long legs, these short pants, and a small workout type top.
Oh, small top. Small top. Wait a minute, Mr. Conservative. I want you covered. Small top.
I had no control over the situation. I'm just a man. She looked good.
Did you ask her to cover? Oh, did you ask her to cover up? Did he ask you to cover up? Oh.
All right, Leigh, let me ask you, Phillip had some concerns before the date. What about you?
Actually, Chris, I did. The first time I talked to Phillip, I thought, ooh, nerd. only because he's got his master's, he's working on his PhD, he helped write a book, he plays this myriad of instruments, and I was like, well, yeah, I thought cute.
Leigh, was this guy that you first thought was going to be a nerd actually able to transform himself otherwise?
Oh, did he ever?
That wasn't me, and that's because because of me.
Oh, look, Tracy's taking all
That's
the credit.
because of me. The way that he is dressed now, never like this before me. I have totally transferred him. He's like Clark Kent, Superman now.
But it wasn't his dress that got me.
Right,
It was
Leigh,
his
go ahead.
mind. Good Lord, an intelligent man
That is very
so
attractive.
sexy.
That is very attractive. I agree.
He's very sexy. He's very chivalrous, and I'm a sucker for chivalry.
All right, now, Philip, let me go back down to where you were going up into the apartment. So pick it up from there. And how did you find her place? Was it clean? Was it like Tasmanian
my
devil lived there too?
It was meticulous. Not one hair on the floor, not one spot of makeup on the sink. The bed, I made sure I looked in the bedroom. No crumbs on the bed. It was great.
You in there
She was
checking out her
totally clean,
sheets.
very clean.
Man, where's this car?
All right, Philip, you guys planned a rollerblading date. I understand that Leigh had never really done that before. Why would you pick that of all things?
Chris, most of the time when we go out, I ask Tracey, can we do something adventurous outside, sporting activities. We never do sporting activities together.
That's not my thing.
So
That's not my
I decided to, if I was going to go on a date, I wanted a woman that would go out on sporting activities and, be adventurous, and Leigh was all that.
And boom, there she was. And Leigh, for your first time on those blades, how'd you do?
Oh, I did well. I was nervous. I didn't want to follow
Excellent.
my butt in front of him. It's an
Sure.
ego thing, but he let me know that if I felt like I was going to fall, I could, catch him and grab him. And I was not falling, but I did grab him a couple of times.
Now-
He's my safety net.
Now, Leigh, why do you think Tracey thinks that Philip's like a walking computer?
The only thing I can think of is she's insecure with her own intelligence, and he probably intimidates her. But that's so not me. I mean, it's so sexy for a man to be intelligent.
So you like that. Now, Philip, you guys went to dinner. We know that. And you had to change, obviously, out of your rollerblading clothes. Was there a big layover in between activities while she got ready?
Chris, when I got to my place, I rushed. I was going to beat her to the restaurant because I'm always on time. She was there before me. I said, "How do you do that?" I said, "How long does it take you to get ready?" 15 minutes. Yeah. 15 minutes to get ready. That's perfect.
Now, here's the other question. When she changed for dinner, was she fully covered like you like, or was she scantily clothed?
She was fully covered, but she was dressed very sexy. She didn't show everything. She had a nice, little cleavage showing, but not too much. As opposed to Tracey, when we go out, the only thing that's covered is nipple. That's it. Everything else is showing.
His own insecurity, because I look good when I go out.
I agree.
Now, Philip, earlier you said you were a little nervous about the date. At this point, though, you've been together for a little while. How are you feeling?
I was feeling conflicted because, I didn't expect her to be, that attractive, that sexy, and we talked a lot, and we just really hit it off. This kind of woman I would, I can see myself with.
So it surprised you. Now, Leigh, he says it was almost perfect on a scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate the date?
I would rate the date as a 9++++. It didn't get a perfect score because he's attached. But hopefully he will not be after this.
I see. Now, Philip, throughout this date, a lot of emotions. You go from one extreme to the other. How'd you feel when it was all done?
I've got this great girlfriend on one hand, and I've got this wonderful date on the other hand. I just felt, a little confused about the situation. And
Confused and conflicted. Well, we're going to settle all that here in just a second. Did Tracey and Philip enjoy their date's company more than they do each other? We're going to find out when we come back, so stay tuned. Tracey and Philip came here today because they've talked about taking their relationship to the next level. But both have made mistakes in their past, and they're afraid to make the same mistakes twice. They actually wanted to see if they enjoyed the company of a stranger more than the company of their significant other. So let's start to sort through this. Philip, we're going to start with you and get your decision. You had a great date with Leigh. You felt guilty, confused, tempted, conflicted, all of those things. Your decision, though, after you sort it all out, what do you say?
Well, Chris, Leigh is the kind of woman that you can spend the rest of your life with. But Tracey is the woman that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, so I want to stay together.
Stay together. All right, Philip. Leigh, sorry things didn't work out for you. Tracey, we're going to get your decision now. Philip obviously wants to stay together. You went out with Ron. You had the angel wings. You said you had such a great date. You didn't think about Philip not even one time while you were out.
Right.
We got to get your decision. What do you say?
Well, on my date with Ron, I asked myself if I could go out with him again, or if I could go out with any man again. And I have to say that I'm going to stay with Phillip. He is the one.
So you say stay together. Ron, sorry things didn't work out for you either. There you go. Now, Phillip, Tracey, by coming on the show, hopefully you think you are meant to be together, and good luck in the future. Thanks for being here. That is our show. Thanks to Leigh and Ron, and good luck to Phillip and Tracey. See you next time on Change of Heart.